What up, world? It's Eternal Authenticity, broadcasting live. I'm doing a video now about letting the bird out the cage, love, freedom, all that stuff. So, anyways, where am I going with this? So, you know, in life, we all realize that we came here from two beings, aka our parents, making love. People have different scenarios, different circumstances, this and that. I'm grateful I have both my parents, and they're together and they've been together all of my life, so that's where I'm coming from. Okay. And the point I'm making is that you know, throughout life, you know, we know instinctually, obviously, I'm a man and I'm only attracted to women, honestly. And, it's vice versa for the women as well, and that's that. So I realize I'm here to have a family, to have children, everything. So, throughout life, we learn different loving lessons, in school, elementary, middle school, high school, this, that, we learn about love. That I've been in and out of a lot of relationships with a lot of different women, a lot of different scenarios, a lot of different points and stages and phases in my life, to be honest. But I will say deep down up to this point, and I am super young too, but at the same time, I realized that, hey, I'm in it for the long run. And to be honest, you know, I know that I'm aware there's billions of life forms, life beings out there, but the whole one love thing has really liberated me so much because when you realize that simplicity is one of the highest forms of sophistication, that's what helps us to breathe more, and I've always been faithful and loyal and whatnot. And, at the same time, whenever, now I'm alone, I've been alone for about a month or so, I've had some alone time for some weeks, to work on myself, outside of love life. I trusted the sign, I'm trusting the signs, I'm getting better, you know, it's only up for me, to be honest with y'all, that's what I'm grateful for with this whole thing. I realize I'm climbing and climbing and climbing new mountains. I'm an Aries. We're the ram. You know what I'm saying? We always at the top. So anyways, the point I'm making is I've been broadening, expanding my perspective of love, my understanding of love or whatever, because sometimes things didn't work out. Sometimes things, you know, like it ended. And no matter what you're attempting to do, to bribe them, whatever, money, being super tough or hard or being super soft and, super positive. Like, no matter what, sometimes just things you just know just to drop it, but at the same time, that you have invested so much time, energy, and love into that relationship that nobody will ever compare to that or replace that. And as you go along about your life, you know, like you're like, hey, you know what? They want to be left alone. They don't want to be bothered. Cool. It's nothing personal. I'm able to free up that space within me so I can attract new love and keep working on myself. And that's how I've been seeing it because to be honest, we all have insecurities and whatnot. Not everybody opens up about it, to be real. That's why I'm one of the first and one of the few to actually open up on YouTube for real, one take, honest expression, that's why I'm the first. That's why I'm winning big in life, honestly, because when you're able to be transparent, honest, and vulnerable and whatnot, that's what helps out connect the dots and unite literally, us. So the point I'm saying is sometimes when things didn't work out or whatever, we might have been frustrated, but then also at the same time we realize, hey, I still have work to do on myself. I know I'm always, reaching new levels throughout my entire life, throughout death, you know, and at the same time, life is like a video game. I understand what they're saying, like the simulation stuff. I'm saying that like nature is real, okay? That's my structure. That's my foundation point. That's how I move forward with this whole thing. So I'm not rushing around racing all loony, like that. So with that being said, there is divine intelligence out there, and this is a massive universe. So it is worthwhile to have a faith or have a strong confidence that there is magic out there and whatnot. So the point I'm making is like, you know, you realize that hey, to choose people that choose you, you know what I mean? And those lessons will turn into blessings. And that's what kind of I've been able to understand. Like on a deeper level, technically, yeah, we can just be alone in our little castle with nobody else inside. It could be a big old house, mansion, TVs, a lot of money, fancy cars, and it's just only you. And that's cool and all. It's just for me, I feel like I'm going to end up having like a massive house with a lot of children, to be real with you, because I have invested so much energy into loving connections with great intimate women. You know what I'm saying? And like I guess the biggest thing I've understand deep down, because intimacy is very deep and vulnerable and sensitive for real. It's not something to be played around with. That's why a lot of people didn't make it to see today. And a lot of people aren't going to make it to see tomorrow, because they're fighting for someone's love, and I learned that lesson in a toxic relationship, honestly, with a heavy contrast. And I realized, hey, don't feed the beast. Don't stick your hand in the fire, to keep being as good as you are. Don't be as so-called bad as someone else is. Rise above. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't mean you look down on someone. It's just saying, hey, it it's a test. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, the point I'm making is like, hey, you realize going on down the line, hey, we don't own anybody. We don't control anybody, this or that. Like true love, as my mentor, Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart says, true love is given freely. And that's so true. I've been surrendering to that and understanding this because this matrix has a lot of people shook up, confused with what love is. I'm always a student and also a teacher as well. So like, certain times you may be watching all these fairy tales, these movies, cartoons, TV, some people even watching porn and stuff like that, the music videos, all this stuff, these distractions, rumors, people talking around, gossiping. And then finally, you just got to figure out what's real love to you, what is real love, what's truthful and whatnot. And create that connection within yourself of understanding and moving forward. And like that's what I've been understanding. I'm like, hey, they say love is freedom. So hey, why should I be, dispersing so much heavy energy within me onto someone who wants to be left alone? Because if they truly love me, they're gonna find their way to me, and give me a hug. That's how it works. That's how it will work, honestly. Because, you know, you have to make peace with your past. And that's what I'm doing, to be honest, because specifically since I've gone vegan and everything, my love life, my passion, my truthfulness, my honesty, everything has just skyrocketed, in an amazing level of progression, so that's why sometimes when there were certain things that didn't work out or, rocky roads and stuff like that, I just consider it learning lessons because I realize I'm living a karma free life and I have nothing to lose. So as I'm healing myself, as I'm evolving, as I'm leveling up, which is a lifelong process, I realize, hey, I keep the door open for wealth opportunities, for love opportunities, for money opportunities, for abundance opportunities to come my way, And also at the same time, I'm still out there engaging and whatnot, being active. It's just like you know what's going on in your world. You can bring it up to us or whatever, and at the same time, you know exactly what you've gone through. That's why there is no authority because love is a truth. The husband and wife are the only ones who truthfully know what was going on, and they both know they don't control each other. They both know They don't own each other, you know? That's what love is, honestly. So whenever you bring in a counselor or a so-called official or a so-called authority or a family member or a friend or this or that, you can do that. It's just like at the end of the day, you're still gonna realize, hey, it's us. You know what I'm saying? And like the point I'm making is like, love, intimacy, romance, the sacred nature of that is not something to be toiled around with or played around with or taken for granted. And I don't, at all. So the point I'm making is that like, love, you get to a point where, you know that you are still leveling up financially, whatever. Like even if you still don't got no money and you know that you're leveling up regardless of, your freedom of attracting money, like I'm doing. I'm wealthy regardless of money. And a lot of times, guess what? I don't have money, but it comes to me, and then I do have money. You know what I'm saying? Like the point is, my point of focus is on creating, on living, on building. You know what I'm saying? And then the money just comes, from older mentors who are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years older than me, who have already been in my position. And it's just like money is a neutral tool, a visitor to assist us. In actuality, we don't need nothing, to be honest, except some water and some air, some clean water and some air, some alkaline water or whatever. So that's what helps us to simplify our life to our own mind on what we truly want. Obviously, I'm open to receiving all of the money in the world, and I will too. And at the same time, like as I'm working on myself, this and that, like I understand, hey, honestly, yeah, I'm glad I wish my lovers well, for real, truly. Even if it was hard to, you know, part ways and have some space or whatever. I still kept it real because like I'm like, yo, like I recognize that hey, when it's real, it's gonna come back to me. That's what my mentor says. And it just makes sense because sometimes these so-called lessons will turn into blessings when we continue to keep improving ourselves. And guess what? Things will be at a more harmonious pace between our lover or partner. And we can broaden our expansion range, our perspective of what our love is supposed to be, uniquely catered towards us. The love I'm receiving and that's supposed to be in my life is going to be totally different than the love that any of you have, and that's the beauty of it, it's just keeping the peace is what we learn. And like I realize, hey, to be honest, we don't own or control anybody. It's true love when both choose, keyword both choose to be together in love. And that's what I'm realizing and understanding because, like it's an investment. It's real. Nobody's here to waste each other's time. Nobody's here to play games and, just cause mischief and drama and stuff. We're ready to have families. We're ready to build. We're ready to be onto big things, and we will. The point I'm making is that like, you know, you get to the point where it's like I don't even care anymore. Like you do, but it's like when you have that intuitive feeling where it's like, hey, let it be, allow the space and allow it to flow to you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever comes, let it comes. Just like my mentor says, whatever stays, let it stay. Whatever goes, let it goes. That's the best way to handle it, to be honest. And what I'm saying is that, you know, it's so amazing because you understand, especially for me personally, all the girlfriends who I had, way before I went vegan, or any of the girls I even like shared any type of romance or intimacy with, I don't know where they are, to be honest. I don't know who they are. It's been years, so like that's what I'm saying. Since I went vegan, it's been key points and indicators and solid connections that are unforgettable. That's my point. And like when that happens, like you start to understand, hey, I just met these people, later on in life. I might have only known them for a year or so. And that's cool. It's just saying like on a deeper level, what I'm going for, I'm here to live a long life. So I'm here for the long run. I'm here for connections that are here today and they're going to be here tomorrow and here on throughout death. That type of stuff for real. And like understanding that we don't own anybody and that, love is freedom is true because it's like until we master ourselves to a significant level of growth and health and everything, of stability and whatnot, then we realize that, hey, it's learning teachers and stuff, and that honestly, what's meant for you will be with you. That's the point I'm making. Like, how you won't get hurt in a relationship, to be honest, because true love is where both people just make it work. It's that simple. They both are actually in agreement, in harmony, in holy communion. That's what true, real love is. They finally just put all their arguments, all of their baggage, all of the drama aside, and they're like, hey, you know what? I love you. You love me. Let's make it work. And they have a family and they build from that. That's what real, true love is, to be honest. And like, for me, understanding freedom of the love opened me up because a lot of programming, to be honest, is on us is about, oh, you must just have one. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool if you want to do that. Whatever you're here to do. I'm just saying, like, when you become at that point in time where you have just your space, then you start seeing, hey, like, we don't own nobody. We don't own anybody. So the point is that, like, you won't get hurt by nobody because who is truly for you in a loving, partnering way for the long run, y'all are going to be on the same page. That's something I've understood. I'm understanding. And that's why we don't need to stress ourselves out because why would you want to stress yourself out over someone who doesn't want to be with you, who's escaping, running away from your life? No matter how hard you try to beg or chase or fight or search, that's unhealthy towards you. And they're actually giving you a blessing by not by being real and not wanting to be with you because they don't want to. You know what I'm saying? So, like, at least we can appreciate that honesty, because it's saving us time. We can be grateful from that. And if they truly want to be with us, if they're truly supposed to be with us, then they come. It's that simple. And that's kind of what I've understood. It's billions of people out there. So we're bound to at least have one true loving reflection that will honestly be able to connect with truly, wholeheartedly, surrendered up, committed, you know, faithful, honest, loyal, willing to have a family and children and everything. We all at least deserve one. That's the point I'm making. And at the same time, still, like, you start to broaden your mind about the concept of love, is what I'm realizing, and especially just the whole thing that we don't own anybody too on that deeper level, like of fears of being, just lustful fears of them betraying you, of them doing some lustful betrayal stuff behind your back, some, mischievous, lustful stuff. You stop even caring about that because if so long as you know that you're doing right and what you're doing and is faithful, is loyal, and you're doing the best you possibly can, then guess what? You won't ever get hurt because you did the best you possibly were able to do. And whoever's meant for you will accept you for that, and they will be in agreement, in alignment with that. And y'all work out whatever y'all supposed to work out. It's just for me, I don't even care no more, to be honest, because why would I want to stress myself out over someone who's entertaining a bunch of other guys, making me look like a fool? Why would I want to be with a woman who's, doing stuff behind my back or stuff like that? No man wants that, and no woman wants that, to be honest. So, like, the point I'm making is like it will just flow. That's the point I'm making. I don't know how, I don't know when. Somehow it will manifest in my life where I'm living an amazingly abundant, loving, prosperous, wealthy lifestyle, to be honest, where it just flows, it's on the same page, whatever. So that's the point I'm making, y'all. It's Eternal Authenticity, broadcasting live. Peace.